Hello, hello, hello. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations. Welcome all you happy stampers and card makers and paper crafters. I'm glad you've joined me today for another of my Casing the Catalog videos. This is featuring products from the new annual Stampin' Up! Catalog for May of 2021 to April of 2022. And it went live this month. This is May, and I'm excited about some of the products, and I wanted to share some of them with you. And so today I am casing a stamp set bundle called Inspired Thoughts. It's these sentiment stamps combined with inspired Canopy dies. So you got all the sentiment stamps, and then you've got these dies. Now this die set has this little one. If anybody knows what this is for, they're going to have to tell me. I honestly haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so I'm open to suggestions on what that's for. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using today. And this is the card. Oh, let me go to the page. I am casing the card as seen on page 160 of the catalog. Now in the catalog here is the one that looks like a spring scene, and if you go to the page of where the inspired stamp set is, it's on page 52. Let me take you there. They have it where they're showing you how they've used it for summer, spring, summer, fall, and winter. So here's fall with the leaves falling down. Here's summer, and here's winter. So that's kind of a fun thought. You could make a group of cards and give them as a gift or something. We're going to do the spring one because where I'm at, it's spring. It's kind of a rainy day spring today, but spring just the same. Okay. So let's get started. Here's my version of that card. I did it quite a bit different than the catalog. I got inspired by the catalog, but then I made it my own with some variations. So let's get started and I'll show you what I did. I started with a Whisper White thick, Whisper White. Why do I always do that? Basic white thick cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 to make an A2 greeting card side fold. Just like that. Then the first layer, let's get this back in the picture so you can see it while I'm working. The first layer is Pear Pizzazz, and it is cut to fit the entire front of the card. So it is 4 1/4 by 5.5, and we're going to attach it with snail. Used to be I used snail. Now it is Stamp and Seal. Boy, I'm just into all kinds of word faux pas today. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Okay, so I'm going to attach this to the front of the card just like that, and there's my card front. Now we are going to build, and I need a piece of basic white. I almost did it again, didn't I? I need a piece of basic white regular cardstock because I'm going to use that to build this scene onto, and I want it to be for by 5 1/4. I should have had this cut ahead of time, but I always manage to miss making something, getting something ready. So why not that? Okay, so I'm going to use this as my base to build my pieces on. Then I am using, for these colors that you see here, the bottom piece is Mossy Meadow cardstock. And in the set is the, get the right one up here. In the set is this curvy die, and that's for making those hills and valleys shapes, to make that landscape shape that we want. And so I used it to create an edge on here, and it's overall, I cut it, let me look, I wrote it down, 4 wide, of course, by 2.5 tall, and I may take some of it off, it depends. I wanted it longer or higher, taller than I needed, because I want to be able to adjust it so it fits the scene, and this way I can cut off the extra when I'm done. So that's why I did that. The next piece, the next two pieces actually, are from the designer series papers called Beauty of the Earth, and I just couldn't resist. This looks like a beautiful sky, and this looks like a grassy meadow, and so that's what I decided to use in this card. Now this piece, the blue piece, is cut 4 by 4, and again, it's the Beauty of the Earth designer series paper, and I don't remember the page number that's on. Sorry about that. And then the green piece is 4 by 2.5, I believe. Yes, it's 4 by 2.5. And again, I may adjust that height. We'll see how that goes when I start putting it together. So I want to build this background, and I'm going to start by attaching this piece and then overlapping the others onto it. And it is, like I said, 4 by 4. And I'm going to line it up with the very top of the white piece, and it's side to side. There's no gaps. It's going to cover it. Just like that. Okay. Then the next piece I'm going to put on is this piece. And basically, I just want it to be just enough. Now, that looks pretty darn close to what I had. Might be just a little bit taller, but I don't think that's a bad thing. When I cut the trees out, I cut them out of crumb cake, and I cut them out with double-sided adhesive on the back so they would be easy to mount. So I have those here, and I'm thinking if I put those like that, that's going to be a little bit high. So I'm going to bring it down. I'm not letting that touch because I've already got this peeled the back off. If I put that there like that, then I'm going to want this about like that. Okay, does that kind of, you know, I'm just what I call dry fitting. So it's about 1/4 inch overlap, which we can trim off later. Okay, so let me attach that piece. And I'm staying away from that very bottom edge because it's going to get trimmed off. And I'm going to do it just like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm just going to trim off that extra off the bottom. Got some sticky there. makes cutting a little tricky when you got sticky on there. Okay, now the next piece is going to be, oh, I'm going to trim that up with my paper trimmer. I want my edges to be perfect. So I'm going to take and trim that edge up so that it doesn't have any white showing. There we go. The little things we do to fix our cards and make them perfect for who we give them to. Okay, then this one is going to go on below that. And again, it's going to be too long, but I wanted to, again, just get it so that I could make it just exactly what I want. Now, before I put this piece on, I'm going to put the trees down. And because this piece is going to cover up the parts I don't want. And so now it's just a matter of deciding how tall I want my trees. And I think, yeah, I think that's about right there. And I'm going to stick that down. And there's some extra about coming off the edges there. We're going to cut that off. Okay, so now this piece is going to go on. I'm going to put sticky up the side and around that curve. And then I'm going to put a piece right across the bottom here so that it will stay good there. And then I am going to put this on so it just covers the bottom of that tree, just like that. And then let's trim it all up. Get things to unstick to me. and then this piece across the bottom so that I stay true. So I just used that basic white piece to give me a map, so to speak, to stick things to, so I kept them the right size. And it worked out beautifully. So there's my beautiful art piece. Isn't that just gorgeous? Now, we've got the branches or the leaves or whatever to put on the tree. And in the set, there are these four pieces that create the leaves. I cut the leaves from Old Olive and Pear Pizzazz. No, Old Olive and Granny Apple Green. I knew I'd get it sooner or later. Old Olive and Granny Apple Green. And I cut one set of Granny Apple Green, and they're right here. And then I cut 4 sets of the Old Olive. Now, I probably won't use them all, but I wanted to be sure and have enough. And I started out by putting these on with liquid glue, but I'll be honest, I decided to switch over and start putting them on with mini glue dots. And there are plenty of spots on the backs of these that we can attach a glue dot to, and it will hold everything in place beautifully. And this part takes some time. There's just no way around it. And it's just a matter, there's not a right or wrong way, and there's not a specific way they're supposed to go. It's just putting them on and making your tree look decent. Now, you could dry fit first and kind of get an idea for where you want your pieces to be. And that's okay. And here again, don't worry about whether or not you're going to go off the page, because we've got that ready to trim off the edges when we're ready. And so let me get another big one. And so this part does take a little bit of time. In the meantime, I will tell you that my link to my online store is in the description box below, and I would love to have you shop with me if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you need a catalog, you can message me and I will send you one. And there's also an awesome promotion going on for those who want to become Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, whether you want to be into it for a business or you just want to be a hobby demonstrator and get your products at a little bit of a discount and maybe just share with a friend or two here and there. So, you know, if you're interested, you can get $206 worth of product and free shipping for $99 this month. And so I'd love to talk to you if you have some interest. I would be happy to hear from you. Message me and I'll contact you and we'll chat. And I can help you get signed up. I've been doing Stampin' Up! For a little over 11 years. I'm primarily a hobby demonstrator. I started out great and then kind of lost ground for a little while. And, but, you know, I just enjoy their products so much because they all coordinate. They all, that stuck to me. And that makes a big difference to me because I'm not at the store trying to find just the right color to make a project and spending more time at the store than I am here. Plus the quality of the papers and cardstocks is just amazing. And I put the stickies on the wrong side of that one, so I'm not going to use that one. Let's try again. So anyway, that's why I do Stampin' Up! It really cut down on the money I spent because it was spent more wisely and everything fit together when I did it. And so that's what I really liked about it. Now we need some color, so we're going to have some variations. So let's bring in some of those Granny Apple Green pieces. Get them in here. This is my 4th video today. I'm trying to get ahead a little bit. And let's see, do I want to put another one of those here? I think I'm going to put another darker green there. And you can see how it's starting to fill in. Get that up where you can see it for sure. And then we're going to put some more bright color in here. We need some more variations because in the spring, leaves aren't all dark green. Some of them are light green because they haven't totally leafed out all the way and matured like they do over the summer. So we'll put that one there. We obviously need something over here, so let's put this little one over there. Get some dots on the back of that one, and let's put it right here. And what do you think? I think it needs a small one here, and it ends up just automatically overlapping each other and creating dimension and depth all by itself, just the nature of the pieces as you put them together. And the more random they are, actually, the better it's going to be, because you know, there's just, the fullness will come into it. Now, some of the branches are going to show through the leaves, don't they always on a tree? I don't think I want to use that big one again. Let's see, do I want to put another one over here? Not necessarily. What about up there? Nope, I think I'm going to quit. So I just had a few pieces left, but my trees are looking really good. And now I'm going to have to turn that piece over and trim off the pieces that went past the edge. So we will do that. There we go. Get those out of the way. And those. So there is our art piece. It's totally ready to put on the front of the card. So again, I'm just going to use Stamp and Seal. And this Stamp and Seal is really a good adhesive, and it does stick really, really well. I don't know that I'd ever have to worry about something falling off a card when I gave it to someone, because it is very sticky. So you do have to be careful when you're using it that you don't stick it down until you're ready, because once it's stuck, it's stuck. Okay, that looks good. So there's the front of my card. Okay, now the sentiment. I got the tag from Hippo and Friends dies, and it's seen on page 163. I'm going to use the thank you from Pansy Patch, which you can see on page 29. And I'm going to use the Pear Pizzazz just to bring that background forward, because the background piece was Pear Pizzazz. And we'll stamp that thank you in there like that. Oh, so cute. And we'll attach that with a couple of dimensionals on the base of this. Sometimes I just can't pick pieces up. Okay, and just a little bit different than the other one. Maybe a little bit more dark green here, but that's okay. And it does look quite a bit different. Let me bring up that 160 page. So it does look quite a bit different than what they did in some ways. Oh, and I did put the bumblebee embellishments. This is bumblebee trinkets. They're my favorite. I've used so many of them. I'm going to have to order a second box of them already because they're just too cute. And they attach perfectly with a mini glue dot. And let me get those because I want to do that with this one as well. It's just like the, what do they call? Pièce de résistance or something like that. I can't speak French, but except maybe for bad words. And but they stick beautifully with the bumblebee, with the mini glue dots. There's just enough room on the back of them for one of those. And I'm going to put one up in the tree. And so I'm adding those little bumblebees. See me add those. See, I just stick it on there and then pick it up. And, oh, let's put one over here. It's flying downwards. There we go. There's our bumblebee trinkets. Almost forgot that piece. You know, those little special touches are really important, aren't they? So there it is. For this one, they used mint macaron for the background. I just wasn't into it. It didn't match with these other papers that I wanted, so I left that out. They had some ribbon in there. I don't have a lot of ribbon. I don't do a lot of ribbon, so I left that part out. And of course the tag is different, but the basic idea is there. And so that's the idea of casing a catalog, is to not necessarily copy it exactly, but to use it as inspiration and then make your own touches to it. So that's what I did. Hope you enjoyed today's casing the catalog video. I enjoyed making it. I hope that if you need any of the supplies, that you will consider shopping at my online store. Be sure and share this video with as many people as you can. I love to get subscribers. It just makes me feel good. And so you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.